Hey guys, I'm David and this is Yellowhammer Woodcrafts. Today I'm going to show you how I built these cat trees. First we start off by cutting some 2 foot by 2 foot squares out of 3/4 inch sanded ply. And I just spread some glue all over the first one and put the second one on top of it, lining it up. And this just makes the base a little thicker. And then I put some brad nails around it, 1¼ inch brads, just to hold it in place while the glue dries. Then we're going to go get our router and we're going to use a 1/2 inch round over bit and we're going to put a nice design around the base. Fair warning, when you're routing the base or putting your brads in, make sure you get the nails far enough away from the edges so you don't cut through them with your router. After the base, we're going to cut our post, and I just used regular 4x4 post for this. You can use whatever you want to use. This was just easiest for me because this is what I had. The posts are 60 inches, 47 inches, 30 inches, and 12 inches. That's the specific cat tree that I'm building. So now we're going to move over to cutting the beds for the cat tree. These are 16-inch round beds, and as you see, I'm just using a template that I made, pretty simple. You just put a pin in it where you want the diameter of the middle of your circle to be for the diameter. These are 16-inch circles for the cat tree. You can make them as big as you want. That's just what I made them. Pretty simple template. You just go around it like I did, and now you have a 16-inch circle. And now for my next trick, we are going to finish these beds off. I just cut a few strips at about 3/4 inches or a little less on the table saw. Doesn't matter how long. You just need these to be 2½ inches. I take the strips over to the chop saw, set up a stop block, and cut them at 2½ inches long. And the reason they're 2½ is because when you put them around your base like this and you put your 1/2 inch circle on the top, it's going to give you a 3-inch deep bed. Make sure when you're gluing these that you push them down firm and that they stick, so when you flip it over like this, they stay on there and don't fall off. And then that way you can go around it with your brad nails, and I put 2 in each one, 1¼ inch brad nails. Like I said, 2 in each one, go all the way around it, then flip it back over. Then you can put some glue on all the tops all the way around, and then you take your 1/2 inch circle that you made just like I did the base, and you glue that in, and then you want to put your brad nails all the way around that, 2 in each one. I didn't film cutting the circle for the top. All it is you do it the same way you did the base, except you cut the second circle a little bit smaller to give you a ring. And then, ta-da, you're done. One bed finished. So this seems to be the best way that I've found to wrap these beds. Cut a 10-inch strip wide down the length of your carpet. It's going to end up being about, I think it was 50 to 55 inches long. Once you get to the end, just cut off, the excess. And then wrap the bottom like that all the way around, staple it. And same with the front, we're going to go all the way in to the bottom around. I think that's going to be the best way to do this. And then for your bottom, you just cut a round piece. And for the bottom, you can use the same piece that you cut out the top. That's this piece here. I just cut around it and left it a little bit wide around the circle, about 1/2 inch wider than the circle. And that's what I used for the bottom. So there you have it. I just wrapped it around, stapled it all the way around on the inside, and then rolled the bottom, stapled it. You will have to use a lot of staples to hold this carpet in place. And then once you get all the staples in, hold it up like that, go around with a hammer and hit the staples all the way in and make sure that they went all the way in and the cats are not going to get caught on them or scratching at them. Same with the bottom. Show you how I made the curved part of the cat tree. This is this part. You can see that, the half circle kind of where they lay. So the way I came up with, I tried a different couple of ways first. I tried to cut release in the plywood to make it bend. That wasn't working too good because the plywood was breaking, as you can see. So I scratched that idea. That idea would work if you had thicker plywood and did it, got the cuts dimensional and measured them all off, but that takes a lot of time and really too much trouble. Came up with this way. I think this works better. So I made an arch out of 3/4 plywood, and the way I made the arch is I cut one arch at, I think, 24 inches diameter and another one at 22. I'll have to go back and check to make sure that was right. And then just put them up against each other and drew them on the plywood and then cut them over on the bandsaw. And that gave me this. Made 2 of these, and then you put wood in between them. 16 inches long is what I made them, because that's what the cat tree calls for. So this whole thing's 16 inches long. These are 3/4. So take 1.5 inches off of that. So 14.5 inches is what these need to be. And I'm going to put some more in here to give it more stability and make it stronger. And then I'm going to find something that I can bend in there and glue it and nail it down. And then this will have carpet over it. So this is what I ended up with. It's really sturdy. I glued every one and put 2 brad nails in each one on each side. And I ended up using some panel board that was really thin, that bends easy to cover the front and back, and that made it easy to wrap the carpet. If you have a cat tree with a tube or a tunnel, this is how I made that. Same concept. I just wrapped this with that bendy panel board that I was talking about, and then wrapped it in carpet. So when you wrap your sisal rope around your 30-inch pole, you'll need 100 feet. 100 feet will go around a 30-inch pole, no problem. And all you do is take a couple of wraps, and then hot glue it, a couple of more wraps, hot glue it, and keep going until you're done. When you wrap these posts in carpet, I noticed when you get down to the last part here, it leaves this little white line, and that is not, that doesn't look good. So the way I figured out how to cover this up, pretty easy. Just run some hot glue down that white line, a little bit at a time. Take a pencil, run that carpet over, hold it for a minute, let it dry. That's all there is to it. That looks a lot better than showing the white. When you get ready to wrap your posts in carpet, it is a little difficult to say the least, but not entirely impossible. Just cut your carpet the length you need it to wrap all the way around. And then when you put your staples in, you are going to need a lot of staples. I suggest running your staples vertically. That way, if a cat is scratching at the post, he's not going to catch his nails on the staples, because there would be nothing for him to catch them on. All the posts are attached with deck screws drilled in at an angle. But since the other 2 posts, like this one and the other 60-inch pole, are so long, I'm going to go in from the bottom with some bolts to hold them better. These are the bolts that I'm going to use on each longer post. The smaller ones are fine. They're pretty sturdy with just the deck screws. And then the beds and these would tie all the posts together later on. For the last post that goes here is 60 inches long, and we're going to attach it from the bottom while it's on the table, so it'll be a little bit easier. And I've got it clamped down so that it won't tip over while I'm screwing it in. I suggest using 3-inch deck screws so you get a good grip, but also make sure you're at enough of an angle so that they don't go through the bottom of your base. I suggest drilling pilot holes when you put these bolts in, and I also suggest getting a nut driver and using a drill to put these in, because it would make it a lot easier. I don't know what I was thinking. Okay, I wanted to show this. This is the curved bed that they sleep on, screwed into the long 60-inch pole. I just put a bent tab under here to kind of secure these posts together. That gives the cat condo more stability and keeps the post from tipping. All right, the last step is to put the casters on if you want it to roll. If you don't want it to roll, you can skip this step. I picked these up at Home Depot. These are the lock-in casters, I used 3/8 bolts about 1.25 inches long and put them about 1.5 inches away from the edge. Pretty simple. Just lean it up against the table and it makes it easier to put them in. That's gonna be it for this one, guys. Let me know what you thought about this project and if you built one and if this helps you. We're always building crazy stuff on this channel, so if you like this kind of stuff, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you next time.